Imagine this. You are standing in a crowded street. Cars are moving. People are talking. A world in motion, loud, fast, alive. And then it happens. No explosion, no warning, just silence. A silence so deep it feels physical. A bird is frozen midair. A falling drop of coffee hangs in space like glass. A blinking neon sign is stuck halfway between on and off. A person in front of you is mid-step, but their foot never touches the ground. Everything is paused. Everything, except you. You blink. You move your hand. The world does not respond, because time has stopped, and you are the only thing still moving inside a frozen universe. The question is no longer science fiction. It becomes survival, because when time stops for everything except you, you are not just alive. You are alone inside eternity. Introduction: a world without time. Time is the most invisible force in the universe. You never see it. You never touch it. But it controls everything you know. Every heartbeat, every breath, every aging cell, every falling object, every conversation. Now imagine that force suddenly disappears for everyone except one person. No clocks ticking. No sun moving across the sky. No sound waves traveling through air. Because sound itself depends on time. In this new reality, physics doesn't break. It freezes, and you are the only variable still running. At first, this sounds like power. Unlimited freedom. No limits, no resistance, no consequences. But reality is far more complicated. Because when time stops, the world does not become yours. It becomes unreachable. What has actually happened? Understanding the stoppage of time. To understand this scenario, we need to define what time stopping actually means. If time truly stops for everything except you, then our molecules are frozen in place. Light is frozen mid-travel. Sound cannot propagate. Chemical reactions cease completely. Human brains are paused mid-thought. Even atomic motion is halted. Everything becomes a single static frame of reality, like a photograph, but three-dimensional. Now here is the critical truth. You can still move, because you are not frozen. Your body, for reasons unknown, continues functioning in a universe where nothing else does. But here's the paradox. Movement requires interaction. Walking requires pushing air aside. Speaking requires vibrating air molecules. Seeing requires light entering your eyes. And yet all of these mechanisms are frozen. So what does being you even mean in a world without time? It means you are no longer part of normal physics. You are something outside the system, a conscious anomaly inside a paused universe. First moments, the silence of a frozen world. First seconds would feel surreal. You would speak, but no sound escapes. You would wave your hand in front of someone's face. No reaction. You would touch a falling object suspended in air. It would feel unnatural. Not heavy. Not light. Just disconnected from reality. You would quickly realize something terrifying. You are inside a world that no longer responds. The air itself feels wrong. Not moving. Not circulating. Breathing becomes confusing, because oxygen molecules are frozen in place. Every instinct you have depends on a world that is no longer functioning. And yet you remain aware, fully conscious, fully active, completely alone. The first discovery: absolute control without consequence. First, there is temptation. If nothing moves unless you move it, then everything is accessible. You could walk into a bank. Money suspended in air inside cash drawers. You could take it. No alarms triggered. No cameras record movement because recording requires time. You could enter places normally impossible. A bullet fired from a gun is frozen midair. Harmless. Fire is suspended mid-flame, unable to burn. You could walk through chaos frozen forever. A collapsing building becomes a sculpture of destruction. A crashing car becomes a monument of motion. Stopped forever. You are not just observing reality. You are inside a post-disaster. But there is a deeper realization waiting. You are not just free. You are disconnected from every system that defines meaning. Because without time, nothing can be changed in a lasting way. Every action you take exists in a world that will only resume once time starts again. And when that happens, everything you touched will continue from where it left off, including consequences. The physics of isolation: why you cannot truly interact. Let's go deeper. If time is frozen, then all motion is frozen. That means air is solid. Sound is impossible. Heat transfer stops. Light is fixed in place. Even your ability to see becomes questionable. Vision requires photons entering your eyes over time. If photons are frozen, then even seeing the world should not be possible. So what allows you to perceive anything at all? This is where reality bends, because you are not just inside frozen time, you are outside its rules entirely. Your consciousness becomes the only moving process in existence. But everything else is locked. Meaning every step you take is like moving through a universe made of stillness, a world without flow, a world without change, a world without feedback. Cause and effect. What happens if this continues? No. Let's follow the chain of events. Step 1. Initial exploration. You explore a frozen city. People stand mid-motion like statues. A child is laughing forever paused. A car is mid-turn. A dog is frozen mid-run. Everything feels alive, yet dead. Step 2. Attempted interaction. You try to move objects. A pen does not fall. A door does not swing. You realize everything is locked in spatial memory. Nothing behaves dynamically. Step 3. Psychological collapse begins with no movement, no sound, no response. Your brain begins to lose reference points. Human cognition depends on change. Without change, memory and perception begin to distort. Minutes feel like hours. Hours feel like nothing. Time becomes meaningless even for you. Step 4. Energy isolation. Problem: your body still functions, but energy sources become a mystery. Food is frozen. Water is frozen. Fire does not burn. Electricity cannot flow. So how are you alive? This suggests one terrifying conclusion. You are no longer fully inside physical reality. You are inside a bubble of active time surrounded by frozen existence. Step 5. Reality becomes a prison. At some point, exploration stops feeling like freedom, because there is nowhere new to go. Every place is identical, frozen. Silent. Unchanging. The universe becomes infinite, but identical in every direction. Comparison: our real world versus frozen timeline. Our real universe. Time is what allows growth. Decay of the entity itself. Without time, a flower cannot bloom. A star cannot burn. A human cannot age, but also nothing can be experienced. Even pain cannot exist. Even joy cannot form, because both require change. This means the frozen world is not just silent. It is emotionally dead. A universe without time is a universe without meaning. The realization: you are not a god. First, you might think, I control everything now. But control requires change. And change requires time. You do not control anything. You are simply the only moving thing in a universe that no longer reacts. You cannot truly create. You cannot truly destroy. You can only reposition what already exists. And when time resumes, everything will correct itself according to physics. Meaning your influence may vanish instantly, or worse, it may trigger consequences you cannot undo. The return of time, the final moment. No, imagine the moment time starts again. No warning. No signal. Just dash motion. Sound floods back instantly. Air rushes violently as pressure normalizes. Objects resume trajectories mid-air. Every paused action continues exactly where it stopped, including everything you touched. Cars crash. Objects fall. Fire resumes burning. People complete their frozen movements without awareness of what happened. To them, no time has passed, but for you, everything has changed, because you now carry the memory of a world no one else ever experienced, a world that technically never happened. The true cost of living outside time. So what if time stopped for everyone except you? At first, it feels like ultimate freedom. But slowly, it becomes something else: isolation beyond imagination. A universe without response, a reality without progression, because time is not just a mechanism. It is the foundation of meaning itself. Without it, nothing connects, nothing evolves, nothing truly exists in a way that matters. And when time returns, you realize something deeply unsettling. The world never noticed you were gone, because for everyone else, you were never outside time. You were always inside it. Just moving differently. And that raises the final question: if you could step outside time again, would you still want to, or was being alone in eternity the closest thing to escaping reality you will ever experience?